Okay, guys, so what I want you to do as the first exercise is to do the first question right here. Oh, this doesn't work. The aim of the first exercise is just we can find out what's your personal values and deal breakers. So I want you to practice 3 things. One is I want you to list the top 5 values or qualities you want in your spouse. Okay? But when you do that, I really want you to be realistic. Don't just say polite. Who wants an unpolite spouse? That just doesn't. But I want you to be very realistic. Okay? This is truly your expectation in a spouse. Okay? So I want you, this is a personal thing, okay? So everyone has a piece of paper, you write it down, top 5, all right? We'll get into the second one. The second one, then after that, when we stop, all of us, and then we'll come back, what are the 5 things you absolutely do not want in a spouse? They are deal breakers. So if someone comes and, for example, says, well, I was engaged before, that's a deal breaker for you, I'm sorry. Or if someone's done a temporary marriage before, that's a deal breaker for you. Or for example, someone is from a different ethnicity. You want a Pakistani, you want an Iraqi, okay? That's a deal breaker for you. Is that clear? So I want you to list the 5, but that you do it not now, once I tell you to do it. And then the third one is, this is so important because a lot of us always want, but we never tell about us. So what are the 5 qualities that you can provide? Okay, so I want this, I want that. Deal breaker is that I don't want someone who's this. But what can you provide? Who are you? So I want you to list 5 qualities, best qualities that you can bring to a marriage. And the reason for this exercise is I want you to practice because you're all single. Okay? And I want you to practice to find out what you're going to list and how you're going to provide this information, inshallah, when you meet your match. All right? And then we'll do some comparisons and things like that, inshallah, on the whiteboard and things like that. But the first thing I want you to do is I'm going to give you a few minutes, maybe in silence, no need for discussions. This is a personal thing. Okay? I want you to pick up the piece of paper, write down what are the top values or qualities you want in a spouse for the purpose of marriage. So I'll give you a few minutes, write the 5 top. Remember, be very realistic. Yes, very realistic. How, if I was to tell you I will bring you the perfect spouse, write that down. What would the perfect spouse look like? Okay, don't use ChatGPT, yeah? Don't ask, what are the 5 qualities that I'm supposed to look for in a spouse? The 5 qualities you do in a spouse. Number 1. That's, hey, trust. All right, so the point of this exercise was to really find out what are your priorities, okay? You guys at the back, I worry about you. You guys, are you okay? No, you're not okay? Huh? You can, no, I'm going to read it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not expecting you to. Oh, you've... No, it wasn't me. I'm not even going to ask who was it. We said no judgment today. Not judging you. Are you stealing a lid? All right, let's find out. Males, okay? These, I want the females to listen very well. The sisters to listen very well. This is what the brothers are prioritizing in a female, okay? This is what they really want. So they want a good communicator, someone who talks well, whatever that means. And trust me, guys, women can talk. Yeah, women can talk. So they actually did studies and they found out that around 70% of the overall conversations in a marriage is actually done by a female. It's true. MashaAllah, they can talk. Okay? And even introverts, they can talk. Introverts who are comfortable with their husbands, it's like a radio station. Yeah, but it's difficult to reduce it because it's rude. But the problem is that the males don't know how to listen. And so it creates problems. And that's why communication is very important. Because the males, they switch off, whereas the females, they want to be heard. Yes? And the males don't have that tolerance. As again, is how we've been wired in our brain. The males don't know how to listen. The females will love to be listened to. Yeah? So when you engage in a marriage, you've got to know this, that the males, you've got to know that, mashallah, the females, they want to talk to you. You have got to practice to know how to listen. Yes? All right. Emotionally stable, intelligent. Emotionally stable. So that's a very difficult priority, isn't it? I mean, how are you going to find a wife? I told you guys, be realistic. Remember when I said, did I not say this? Yeah, be realistic. Now, how are you going to find an emotionally stable woman or not? It's very difficult to find an emotionally stable woman or not. It's, you know, how are you going to find, you know, there is an emotionally intelligence test. You guys know about emotional intelligence? Yeah. So there's emotional intelligence test, but are they emotionally stable? It's difficult because we know that studies do show that, of course, women are more emotional than men. It's not a bad thing. Okay, so don't look at it. You know, I know the feminist movement might think it's a negative comment against women. It's not a negative thing. It's how God created you. Okay, men have also certain things that they do. The women. So they're more emotional. So what do you mean by emotionally stable is that the emotions sometimes fluctuate, especially in that time of the period. Okay, so the emotions they fluctuate. So you as the man, you've got to be prepared for these things. Again, today's session is a lot of it is about preparation as well, for you to understand one another. I'm just seeing faces looking at me. Are you guys? Do you understand? Yes. Respectful. Respect God greater than people. We've got some maths in here. God is greater, not alhamdulillah equal to. God is greater than people. Okay, so I guess he means God is more important than other people. I guess that's what. Respect is important, yes? But how are you going to find that respect? Deen, it's vital. All right, I need help here because this is in Dutch. Fysiek. 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 Physical? Physical and social hijab. Okay, so that's physical. Physical, by the way, just in English, is Pysysical. Just for those who, yeah. So physical and social hijab. That's really interesting, isn't it? What does social hijab mean? Can someone tell me? What does social hijab mean? You're an organizer. Organizers don't speak. Yeah. Social hijab, yes. Mannerism and akhlaq, yes, absolutely, but also in the context of mixed gatherings. Okay? So social hijab is when you're at society and socially, especially in front of the opposite gender, how do you behave? Because some people behave, you know, a bit like animals. You know, when the animals, have you seen like some birds? They get some of the birds, males, they just go crazy and start dancing so that they can attract the females. Unfortunately, some human beings do the same. Okay? They do very similar things. So we've got to be respectful and make sure that we have social hijab in place. And of course, this physical hijab is important as well, okay, for some people. Similar future. I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean like you have future prospects, very similar prospects? hardworking, calm, trust, yes. Patience, that's an F. Patience, ambitious, so hardworking and ambitious. It's interesting because some of the men want a female that is hardworking. Yeah, she's hardworking at home maybe, or hardworking at work, but still she's a hardworking female. She needs to be patient, loyal, supportive. That's such a good one. I think that's my favorite so far. Supportive. Yes? A female that is always supportive is the best thing because they know how to support. Okay? Self-awareness, that's a good one. Haya, and honor, and honest. All right. So for the females, let me go from here. After the cable is... So the males, are you paying attention? Fear God. So that's a taqwa, caring, safety, decisive, safety, so you feel safe with the male, so he doesn't hurt you. Okay, that's a good one. Decisive, so are you noting males that some females want a decisive male, like you make a quick decision, yeah. Maturity, interesting, maturity. That's a really good one. Emotional intelligence. Whoever wrote that, they must be emotional intelligent, because you don't expect someone else to be emotional intelligent if you're not emotional intelligent. So emotional intelligence, for those of you who don't know, is the ability to not understand and comprehend your emotions and the people around you as well. So the people you always interact with, so you understand and comprehend their emotions. Respect. We've said here respect, so there's respect here. Funny. Remember, this is one of the top priorities in a female. She's looking for a funny guy, hilarious guy, a comedian. Deen, we've had honest, we've had here again, honestly, no, I mean honesty. Okay. Akhlaq. Yes, education, calm, so we've had calm here, calm there. Being responsible, it's interesting, because look, the female is saying the male needs to be responsible, which we didn't find here. Fears Allah and loves Allah. It's beautiful. Honesty, emotional, maturity, again maturity. Good basic work and study. So that's a priority. For a female, you've got to have good studying level. If you don't have a degree, that's a problem. Positivity, family, active lifestyle, so not just sitting at home. Altruistic, that's a good one. Yes, in a responsible manner. Now, ahsantum, thank you so much. Just a quick observation. Yes? For those of you who were yesterday, the Prophet ﷺ says, "Man ja'akum man tardawna khuluquhu wa dina." He has laid it out. The point of this practice, guys, is I wanted all of this to be just deen akhlaq. That's it. That's all I wanted. But that didn't happen. Remember, I kept on emphasizing, give me the first, the most important, or one or two. One or two. I kept on telling you guys. And that's, for those of you who were yesterday, what did I say? I said, make sure these are the two principles, that everything else will fall into place. But this shows me, and especially the brothers, guys. I mean, how many of here is the mention of God, akhlaq, and deen? So we've got respectful, that could be akhlaq. God here, deen. I mean, hijab is yeah, sort of. Patience, maybe, part of akhlaq. Hardworking, calm. But when you find the females, they're a bit more clued up. you find that fearing Allah, that's God consciousness, that's taqwa. That is what the Prophet wants for us to write. You've got deen here, not the funny one. You've got akhlaq, you've got fears Allah and loves Allah. Yes? So it is a bit more. There's a bit more. But I wanted, guys, do you understand the purpose? I wanted you guys to fill this with just deen, akhlaq, deen, akhlaq, deen, akhlaq, deen, akhlaq, deen, akhlaq. That's all. That's all. But you guys didn't do that. And that is the conclusion here. Do you understand? Your priorities, guys, in looking for it doesn't matter if you're a female or a male. I did this. You guys like thinking, yeah, the males are looking for this, females are looking. The principles are the same. The foundations are the same. Doesn't matter if you're a female or a male. What matters, your akhlaq and deen should be the same. When it comes to akhlaq and deen, there isn't a specific ingredient for females and a specific ingredient for a male. The type of akhlaq, the type of deen is special to a male, and another type is special for females. No. I wanted all this to be the same. Akhlaq and deen. Do you guys agree, disagree? Anyone disagrees, fine. Tell me. I'm happy to debate this. But I'm following what the Prophet said. And don't tell me that was 1,400 years ago. Okay, that's a longer time, brother. We live in Utrecht, in Holland. Now things are different. Priorities are different. You telling me priorities, priorities are not Allah, not akhlaq, not deen? Then of course I respect your view, but that is not how, if you don't identify as a Muslim, as a true mu'min of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then that's different, isn't it? So guys, emphasize again, deen, akhlaq. This is your priority. Priority, priority, priority. This is why we're finding so many divorces and so many problems between spouses. It's because they are giving other things priority, not the deen and akhlaq. When you are looking for a spouse, when you sit down, that is not your priority. Some of you are, some of you isn't. You're looking for her, if he is funny. I'm not belittling these things. These are important for you, but they're not priorities. Yesterday, if you were there, we said these two are important, then the rest are preferables. It might be nice to tick one or two preferables, or preferables, if you like, okay? Preferables, one or two would be nice, like funny, like, for example, hardworking, maybe one or two would be nice. But if you don't get the preferables, that's okay, because you've got the principles. The principles are there, everything else will fall into place. Yes? The preferables are there, that's even better. But it doesn't mean that will break your relationship. If the akhlaq and deen are there, it will never break your relationship. So akhlaq is a big branch of things. It's about ethics, it's about mannerism, it's about all these particular patience, trust. These things are there. As I said, patience is akhlaq, trust is akhlaq, respect is akhlaq. All these are part of akhlaq. Yes, brother.
What about communication?
Yeah, communication it's akhlaq, because communication, when you communicate with someone, how do you communicate with them? Yeah, and it has to be in a respectful manner, in a manner of not in anger, in a manner that has a positive demeanor, and that's definitely akhlaq. And akhlaq is a big one, yes, and so therefore you've got to focus on these particular angles. Okay, now we can remove these words and write akhlaq, then maybe it gets a bit better. Okay, but just to say that there are other things here that I don't really like to see. I like to see them in the preferables. The main ones are the deen and akhlaq. Okay, because everything else falls in. Remember, a الَّذِينَ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps on mentioning, ad-deen is for you, relationship with Allah. Akhlaq is your relationship with others. When you got these two silah, we don't want to, these two, I won't say in Dutch, these two weapons, right? So you've got the deen and you've got the akhlaq, you're good with your spouse and in society. I know you know this, and you've come here all the way here today just to learn this, but I want to emphasize this because we need to go back to old days. The new generation of things have taken us away from basics, not basics, but principles. It's driven us away from principles, okay? Our priorities now are different. Our priorities need to stick to akhlaq and deen. So what I want you to do is I do want you to practice this. So I want you to list 5 things, again, this is personal, 5 deal breakers, okay? I'll give you a few minutes and then I'll just go around the tables very quickly. And then after that, we'll do this. And then, so we'll take another 10 minutes, inshallah, okay? So I'll give you 2 minutes. List down the 5 deal breakers. 5 things you absolutely do not want. These are red lines, guys. Red lines. You do not want, if your partner or your spouse has these, it's a complete reject. Hold these particular questions, these points, deal breakers, because what I'm going to do in activity 2, right, is I want you guys to write the questions, yes, the questions that you will ask in a one-to-one, and I want you to think about those deal breakers. So if, for example, you said he's a hypocrite, how are you going to find out? What type of question are you going to write when you ask someone he's a hypocrite? Okay? So that's activity 2. Now, I think you can do this, the last one, in your own time. Go back home and write it down. What are the qualities that you can bring on the table? Okay, not just what you want from others. What are, because sometimes some people might struggle to write certain good qualities. And inshallah, you all have a lot of good qualities to provide, because the other side would want those qualities. Yes?